You demonstrate your gender through the way you act, dress, behave, and interact, and how you prefer to be referred to. So what is coming out? Coming out is the process of discovering that you're a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, LGBT, and then telling others. So the average age for one to discover their LGBT identity is 12. So naturally, for anyone coming out, knowing that they have the support of the community can make things a lot easier. The following is a short video of first-hand accounts from the LGBT community and their experiences of coming out.
This photo was taken when I was about 18 or 19.
That was taken in India.
The photo behind me was taken 25 years ago.
Yeah, I was about 12 years of age.
I was very happy.
Age in life.
That's me when I was about 10.
Because in summer holidays we're on still like, so we spent the day over there on the swing.
It was taken in the Canaries.
Didn't look the best.
At that age, I was pretty confident.
I certainly wasn't that comfortable with myself.
What I did was feel alone, weird.
I wasn't too worried about anything, I don't think.
It was a fun day actually. I can still remember.
I had to need to tell people. It was really important to me.
My friend had said to me, "You'll know when the time is right."
Each time I went to build courage to do it, I just couldn't do it. Like,
My dad woke me up to bed because I was not in a good way, and I vomited because I was so drunk.
And I remember from my mom asking me, "Are you sick? You know, did you murder anyone? Did you steal something?" Because I couldn't say the word.
I just kind of knew one day, I feel ready to do this.
And I asked her, did she know? And she said she'd always known, and she especially knew when I brought home the Martina Navratilova biography from the library.
And I just kind of sat her down and said, "I have something to tell you."
I don't actually fully remember saying it to my dad, but I knew I'd said it.
And then, "Are you gay?" And I went, "Yeah."
I came up to my sister first.
I actually said to her, "I think I might be gay," and that wasn't true. I knew I was, but then I told her that I was gay, and as soon as I said it, I just burst out crying.
My sister actually told my parents from me, like, so.
It was just the relief of, whoa, that's done.
Then we just talked and kissed, and she told me she loved me, and it was right.
I got goosebumps now, even thinking back to that moment.
The thought of it probably would have been quite scary.
If I could go back to that moment, I'd probably have a cup of tea and a biscuit.
It's important to just know that you're not alone.
I was happy there, but was I as happy as I could have been? Probably not.
Being different is scary when you're 16.
Because it's kind of a weight in the shoulders that you're carrying around with you.
You know, people's opinions really don't matter.
Tell your parents, get it out there.
Don't hold everything inside.
You're actually a lot happier when you're not worried about what people think.
Like, it's not a secret anymore. You're not hiding stuff anymore. Like,
If I would do one thing differently, it's reach out more, talk a little bit more, don't keep it all inside. Just see what people think, trust people.
The investment in the future will be phenomenal.
You know, there are people there that will help you and are very willing to help.
There's a massive relief in doing it, you know.
A huge struggle I had was just accepting it myself, and once I accepted it, I had no problem telling people.
I was telling myself not to worry.
I've never been happier with the decision I've made my entire life.
So I think it's very important to reach out and ask for help, and it's a brave thing to do. It's not a cowardly thing to do.
It's a life half lived otherwise, you know.
Never thought that I'd face it. And all things we'll never get to do.
So thanks, Niamh. So now, a little bit about OutWest. So what is OutWest? OutWest is a non-profit organization supporting the LGBT plus community in the west of Ireland. And it was founded by a group of gay men in 1997. And its original name was Mayo Roscommon Outreach. They used to meet once a month for a social gathering. And later on, they also organized discos. It's in 2001 that Mayo Roscommon Outreach became OutWest, when they had to set up a constitution as they needed funds for setting up the OutWest Gay Helpline, and which is now called the OutWest LGBT Helpline. well, it is very important to note that OutWest was one of the founding members of the National LGBT Helpline. And also in 2017, OutWest founded the Mayo Pride, which has since been a separate organization. OutWest is also a member of the National LGBTI+ Inclusion Strategy Committee, which was put together by the Department of Justice and Equality. This was set up to it was made to implement a safe, fair, and inclusive Ireland. So next slide. So now, OutWest in the present. So as mentioned previously, OutWest is a voluntary social support and advocacy group for the LGBT plus people in the west of Ireland. And just to be more precise, OutWest covers the 5 counties of Connacht, which are Galway, Mayo, Roscommon, Leitrim, and Sligo. OutWest is run by a management committee who oversees all our events around Connacht. Then we have regional subcommittees with currently 2 well-established subcommittees, one in Mayo and one in Sligo. On the Mayo side, we have, like last September, OutWest has finally been able to open its own new drop-in center on Tucker Street in Castlebar. The center, so you can see it on the picture now, that's the outside looking of the center when we open it on the 4th of September. And this center provides a safe and friendly space where members of the LGBT plus community, their families, their friends and allies are invited to drop in every Sunday, anytime between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So really the place, this is a place where people can socialize around a tea or coffee, where they can play board games, listen to music, read a book, or even just sit there and relax. So here, now you can see a few examples of events we have, or special events that we have organized since we opened. So for example, the Halloween Best Costume Contest, the Christmas card and wreath making, the tie-dye party, and the crochet and knitting workshop, which this one is run once a month. So another mission for OutWest is to connect with the community. So for example, we facilitate educational talks in school settings and community groups. These talks are focused around awareness and education around the LGBT plus community. So on the picture on the left, it's an example of one of our school talks we provided. This picture was taken in the Grange Community College in Sligo, if I remember well, yeah. And our different information evenings and educational workshops, like for example, the transgender info evening and the sexual health workshop. So another way we are involved in the community is through our information stand in GMIT Castlebar. We work alongside the GMIT Students' Union to raise awareness of OutWest and the work we do. Oh yeah, sorry. So last October, to celebrate the Mayo Social Inclusion and Awareness Week, and in collaboration with the Mayo County Council, we organized an evening of conversation on gender and sexual identity in GMIT. Those are the pictures on the top. And we had our special guest, Penty Bliss, and the evening turned out to be a great success. Another event we were involved in was the I Am What I Am art exhibition in the Berliner Art Center back, it was last July. And the curator, Sinead Q, produced a wonderful art exhibition that was a celebration of queer artists who worked with gender, sexuality, identity, and queer politics when producing their art. Sinead invited OutWest to view the exhibition and to take part of the event Community Storytelling, Hope and Resilience. So that's the two pictures you can see at the bottom. So, yeah.
So, in July of last year, a member of Claremorris community hung pride flags in the town to show support for Pride Month. Unfortunately, by the next day, they were ripped down. So, in response to this, OutWest organised a flag raising ceremony with the support of Claremorris County Council and the Chamber of Commerce to hang a flag in Claremorris Square to show solidarity to the LGBT people. So this is just a few pictures from the event on the day. Obviously, it was a very important event for us because the flags have been targeted and ripped down, and that's not something that as a community we can allow when we have to show support for. So it was great that the Chamber of Commerce and Claremorris County Council were willing to work with us to have the flag hung in the square centre. So that was fantastic. So a big part of what OutWest does is supporting the LGBT community. So naturally we would support the prides around Connacht. So we've got Galway Community Pride, Mayo Pride, Sligo Pride and Leitrim Pride, which of course were all great events. So this is a picture of some walks and picnics in Mayo. So we basically try to organise events that support social inclusion and healthy activities. And it also helps really promote people's mental health, just getting out and about and socialising.
Thank you. So for the past year now, the OutWest Sligo Subcommittee have been doing a great job in organising several regular and recurrent events each month. So we have, for example, the LGBTQ plus coffee meetup, which is being held on the 2nd and 4th Saturday of each month at the Blind Tiger. Since last August, we have decided to hold the Pink Friday event, which was originally created by Sligo Pride. And the Pink Friday event is being held on the 3rd Friday of each month at the Swagman Bar. We also have a regular games night, on the 1st Saturday of each month at the Serious Business.
So this slide shows a variety of the Sligo subcommittee events. So the OutWest Sligo subcommittee held an online hangout via Zoom for people on Christmas Eve, which was a really innovative way of trying to ensure that everybody felt supported at what can be a very, very difficult time for a lot of people in the LGBT community. So naturally, the Sligo subcommittee went along and supported the Sligo St. Patrick's Day parade. They try to get into as many venues as they can. They organised the Pink Friday meetup. So they've done an all-round great job of trying to build a supportive community in Sligo.
So what is planned for the future? So OutWest has several plans, and few of them like to have a regular free rapid HIV testing service, which is hopefully planned to start soon within the OutWest Center in Castlebar, and with the collaboration of Sexual Health West. We also hope to develop a regular support group for parents of transgender people, to have all 5 regional subcommittees set up, so OutWest will be able to support better the LGBT plus community in all Connacht. So obviously, we are going to continue to organize social events such as workshops, classes, walks, meals, coffee meetups, movie nights, etc. And so to be able to continue to do all of these, we also need to plan on a lot of fundraising, and especially if we want to continue to maintain our drop-in center.
So here is a list of some really useful organisations and contacts. So the first is Belong To, which is a youth organisation that supports LGBT from the ages of 14 to 23 years of age. The second is OutWest, which is ourselves. The third is OutWest LGBT Helpline, which runs from Thursday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then you've got the LGBT Ireland's helpline, daytimes available on the website. The last one there listed is TENI Ireland, which is the Transgender Equality Network of Ireland. This top one here is for the Mayo Mental Health Association. The next one is Text Hello, which is a crisis text line, which I think is great because a lot of people aren't very comfortable with verbal communication. So having that extra resource there is fantastic. The next one down is Childline, which most people here are probably well aware of. Mindspace Mayo, which is young people's health matters. They support youth mental health in the community. And then finally, we have Spun Out, which is Ireland's youth information website. So this one is about how to be an ally. So the first thing is to stay informed. So try to be aware of recent terminology if you can. Try and educate yourself a little bit if you can about some of the struggles that the LGBT community might go through or ways in which you can help. Speak up. So that's if you see something, if you see somebody using derogatory terminology, you see someone might be upset after an event, just try and support the person if possible. Be honest, which I mean in itself is self-explanatory. Always be honest if you can. Don't try to offer support that you can't, and try and advise the person to a support service that can help them. Support equality. So I mean, it's not just about everyone being treated equally, it's about equity. It's about trying to ensure that everyone has the same resources or things at hand for them to use. If you're not sure, ask. I mean, that's just the best way to put it, really, isn't it? If you're not sure about something, ask a member of the LGBT community something. If you don't know what something means, ask them. I'm sure they would much rather try to inform you than allow you to maybe use bad terminology or bad information. So listening. So again, self-explanatory. Just to offer an ear to someone. It doesn't sound like a lot when you say it, but for a lot of people, they don't have somebody to offload any stress onto or offload worries onto. And just being an ear for somebody can really help promote their mental health and promote their self-esteem and their well-being. Show respect. This comes in many forms in your actions, how you act with other people, the terminology that you use, how you speak to people, and coming out as an ally. So just showing support, coming to any events, even little badges. We all love our badges. There's plenty of them floating around there online, lanyards, stickers. We've got all sorts of them in it, t-shirts, Jesus, coming out of our ears. So there's many ways in which you become an ally, but the best way really is just to be supportive of your friends, your family, and the people in your local community. And be kind. That probably needs no explanation really. It's always nice to be nice, isn't it? So just be kind to everyone, no matter whether they're LGBT or not. But this is just a bit of a pathway that was developed to help people understand how they can become an ally, which I thought was very informative. Yeah.
So now the big time. So last month, just to explain a bit for those that are not aware of it, last month, as part of the Outing the Past 2022 and in collaboration with the National Museum of Ireland Country Life, we have held an art competition where artists around Ireland and beyond were invited to submit an artwork of their choice with the LGBT plus history as a theme. That's your part.
Oh, yes. So the first category that we had was for teenagers of 14 to 17 years of age. And the winner of this is, drum roll, yeah, if you can, is a young person called Sive O'Toole, who did a fantastic painting of Dogs Bay in Connemara, which was so good that I immediately identified the area because I've photographed it myself many times, and I immediately identified it as the area. So fantastic piece of work. So here's to Sive. Well done, and we will be in contact soon.
So now the announcements for the adult category. So yeah. So the winner that goes to the great illustration called Seagulls of Santa Barbara Island, made by Rosie Dorr. So congratulations, Rosie. So just to address to the winners, we will be in contact with the winners in the next few days to arrange the picking up of the prizes. We would like also to thank our sponsors, Mendes Art Shop Castlebar and National Museum of Ireland Country Life.
I think you just stole my bit. So yeah, again, thank you to the National Museum of Ireland and to Outing the Past, the International Festival of LGBT History, for helping us bring this whole thing to life. And I don't know about you, but this has been a bit of crack. Yeah. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. And if you want to review this, it'll be available on the National Museum of Ireland website. And if anyone has any questions they would like to ask, now's the time, or forever hold your peace. Oh, great.
There are two things that you mentioned there that I found very interesting.
Okay.
And I'm talking up from two incidents I had that I never forgot.
Okay.
And peers of gay children.
Hmm.
You know, maybe not everybody, might not understand when a child comes out and says, I'm gay, how to deal with it. But, hearing it for, the other thing I found very interesting there was when you're referring to people, how you refer to them. Even I'm still learning. I don't know everything.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest with you. And, you would never want to offend anybody.
Of course.
So, do you ever have a workshop or I don't know what you call it, for parents?
So that is actually a little plan as the education officer of OutWest. So something that we would look to provide, like we said earlier in the slides, is like any workshops on anything to do with mental health well-being, sexual health well-being. So one of the things that I would like to devise in the recent future would be a workshop for parents, not just for parents, but just for family members, and to give them a space to ask questions look, and even if we can't answer them questions, at least we'll be able to put them in the right direction of the support services that can. So it's definitely something that we want to do, and it's a work in
Not
progress.
so much on, what I mean is, so it's when parents come, that you will give them an idea of, what I mean?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, I think it's very helpful for people to be able to listen to another LGBT person's account of how they came out and how their family took it and the struggle that they might have went through, and it helps that person separate themselves from the feelings that they might have of a parent of a loss of a child, which is what I've heard it can be described as from parents with LGBT children. They might have been expecting grandchildren, now they might not be getting grandchildren. It's this whole thing that's like, well, no, actually, just because you're LGBT, it doesn't mean you're not going to have children. But it's this kind of thought process and education that we need to work on. So it's definitely happening. Yeah.
Good.
Thanks for your question. Is anyone else?
Hi, me. And Jordan, well done, both of you. That was amazing.
Thanks.
I noticed they were all very good stories, the people that came out there all gave their accounts. But it's not always like that, is it?
No.
No, unfortunately, in some cases, people just actually don't come out because the environment is so,
Negative.
yeah, negative. And they actually, a lot of LGBT plus people, they actually still fear for their lives. So coming out is really a big deal. And then also when they decide to come out, sometimes, and that proves the fear, is the parents or even friends or people that you thought that could be your best friend could actually turn on you and just tell you, well, you're not normal, or things really that very offending. Or for example, in my case, that would be in my case, I can only talk my own experience, but I actually kept quiet and I didn't hide it, but I never spoke about it to my father, for example. I knew it needed time, and it took about 10 years for finally finding out that all is fine and perfect. But so that gives you an idea that sometimes it's just not a process that goes fast. It can take years and years. That's why we find sometimes older people that they live their lives, their entire lives, almost, like a lie, because they weren't being able to be themselves. And it's only when they get 60 and sometimes 80 years old, they finally they get to be themselves and enjoy the rest of their lives. So yeah, that's.
I have a question. I have one comment and one question from the chat.
Yeah.
So the comment is from Martin Cook, and he says the LGBT Ireland National Helpline is now a 1-800 number. So just to say that, people will hear it but that's.
Oh yeah, the 1800, yeah.
And the question is from Thomas D. Will the OutWest Drop-In Centre in Castlebar be opening up any other days in the future? As a student, Sunday is my sleep/work day.
Priorities are really inexistent there for that student.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I have to say, we have to say,
Great.
we hope for that. We wish we could open every day of the week. That would be fantastic. The thing is, OutWest is a voluntary organization, so we only work with volunteers, and it's actually, we have few volunteers, but not enough to cover every days of the week, or at least the evenings or stuff. So I don't know the student name, I can't remember, but Thomas. If you know any ones that would like to volunteer, please send them on to us. And if you want to join us as well, I don't know where you're based, but please feel free to contact us. Yeah. But maybe during the week in the evening, or I don't know. But yeah,
it would be great down the road to do that.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
I'm asking on behalf of my child here.
Yeah.
Any plans for any LGBTQ plus disabled groups? So specifically looking at autistic people or other disabilities?
That's not something that we've actually discussed, to be quite honest, but it's definitely something that I would like to discuss with you afterwards, if you'd be interested in it. Is that okay? Yeah, because it sounds like a great idea. Because I know we have like the quiet room, which is in the front of the drop-in centre. So we have had people from all walks of life in mind. You know, like there is a quiet room there with kind of calming colours, and you know, if someone can go and chill out if they need to. But I would definitely like to have a chat with you afterwards about that, if that's okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Hi.
I am interested to know if you have mentors or like people who support what you're doing, because you, to me, seem to be in a kind of beginning foundational stage of the organization. But I'm just wondering if you're in contact with like maybe people in, say, Australia, like in Sydney, where this kind of support has been established for maybe 30 years.
I might let you take
50
this.
years. And if that, you know, like that you could be encouraged by what the scene is there, the culture is there, and like the Mardi Gras festival events and all the stuff that goes along with that, because, you know, they I think had a very similar history. They started out, you know, this very small group of activists, and it's now become this amazing national celebration of the community. And I was just wondering if you have any contact or get encouragement from well-established LGBT plus communities in other countries.
Well, I remember when I met you in the center, we had a little chat, a quick chat about it. So we actually, before we had like, obviously this center now is open since last September, but prior to that, and prior to COVID, the pandemic, we had opened the center within Lekela. I think I'm pronouncing it. Yeah. The Family Resource Center, which is actually 2 doors away of the actual center we have now. And we had received a letter of congratulations and encouragement from the Irish queer, I have to say now, I know it didn't mention Mardi Gras, but it was the Irish queer in Australia, in Sydney. So we had, and also for the art competition, for example, we had someone, an artist from India, which is very encouraging. Like, it's great to see that. So and then within Ireland, I know OutWest, I mean, we are linked with the helpline. If we need support, or if we have questions on to improve ourselves as well, we could ask them, no problem. And also I think it's since last year, if I remember well, or maybe the year before. You know, with COVID, we forget which year we are in. We are actually in Mayo, I have to say. We are in contact. We have a network really established by the Mayo County Council that for group OutWest with other LGBT organization within Mayo. That's
Thank you.
So any other questions? No? Okay, well, thanks very much for attending today and for all your questions. It was great. And I hope, we hope that you enjoyed it. And yeah, hopefully see you all soon in the drop-in center some Sundays. Yeah.
Thank you.